Okay, good evening, everyone. Excuse me. I'd like to thank you for, I'm so sorry. I'd like to thank you for participating on the Global Infant Safe Sleep Center Community Supporting Communities. Our, our launch for our campaign, Celebrate 366. I want to give you a little bit of background about Global Infant Safe Sleep Center um, and some of the programs and things that we have been doing over the last year. But I would first like to begin with our mission. And for many who do not know, our overall mission and objective is really to look at the world's communities. We want to empower them by achieving equity in infant survival. Although we know that there are a plethora of organizations out there worldwide who are working to address disparities when it comes to birth outcomes and infant survival, we know that in many cases, a lot of the vulnerable and marginalized populations don't always have a seat at the proverbial table. So with that, Global Infant Safe Sleep Center supports vulnerable and marginalized global communities in an effort to reduce sudden, unexpected infant death. Our goal is really looking at saving our babies. Each year we know that there are about 13,000 African American babies who die before reaching their first birthday. African American babies are 2 times more than white babies to die from sudden, unexpected infant death. And these diagnoses can include such things as suffocation, asphyxia, entrapment, infection, ingestion, metabolic diseases, cardiac arrhythmia, and also trauma, both accidental and non-accidental, and also SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. So we know by reducing the number of sudden unexpected infant deaths, we can significantly impact disparities that exist in infant mortality and work to achieve equity in birth outcomes. Again, if you notice here on our slide, these are some of the top states that we see the greatest disparity in. And so although we definitely focus on those states, we really are focusing within the United States and abroad on things that we can do to be able to keep our babies safe. When we look at changing the tradition, changing the position, that is one of the campaigns that Global Infant Safe Sleep Center launched this year. And this particular campaign is working to target grandparents. We know that about 2.7 million grandparents in the United States alone are raising their grandchildren. And we understand that when we look at child rearing and that type of experience, a lot of those things are based on tradition. And traditionally, we know grandparents put babies on their stomachs to sleep. And with looking at risk reduction practices, it's very important for our babies to be sleeping on their back. So we created this particular campaign to target and provide 6 key messages to grandparents and caregivers in helping them to understand the best practices, also for them to be able to share and educate other parents and other caregivers on the roles grandparents and caregivers have in keeping infants safe asleep. I would like to take this opportunity and have Bishop Bluestein talk about some of the things that we're doing in the faith-based community, also within the state of Michigan. Bishop?
Good evening. Again, I'm Bishop Reginald Bluestein. I'm the Assistant Executive Director for Care Community, which is birthed out of Concerned About Reaching Everyone Ministries. It is a faith-based community organization beyond the 4 walls of the church. We started out on this quest after presiding over a one-year-old baby's funeral, and it was something that was dear to me and hurt me and I felt the need. My wife and I, we had to go beyond the four walls of the church and get the educational piece, the message out to the community. And so we sought out trying to find how can we help, how can we educate ourselves so that we can communicate effectively to the community. And Dr. Stacy Scott from Global, she came to us, she educated us, and I tell you, beyond our expectations, we had our first meeting or workshop, if you will, after instructional training from Dr. Scott, one-on-one, about this epidemic that's going on. And I got to tell you the truth, I didn't know that much about it. I wasn't informed that much. But after the fact of a baby's dying and presiding over a funeral, we saw fit to really get educated on this piece. And our first workshop began in November of 2016, and we were told by Providence Hospital that no more than 8 participants would attend our workshop. But following the instructions of Dr. Scott and listening to all the information and getting the word out, 58 people attended that workshop, and we were able to educate and give a safe place through the collaboration of Global Infant Safe Sleep Center, provide a safe sleep place for the babies to sleep. And from there, I was encouraged to do another. And then after that, another. Then we did Project 100 May 6th, where we educated 100 families with the Detroit Health Department. And even registrants was coming off the streets after cutoff just to be educated. People want to know, and we were able to make a difference. And I tell you what, we want to strengthen the faith base to get involved. As a matter of fact, we've seen growth in our church because of the education. People want to know the truth, and we have to keep our babies safe and beyond, help them make it to their first birthday and beyond. And I just want to say thank you to Dr. Scott and our communications director, Ms. Coleman, with Carla Coleman, and we thank you. And we're ready to go further with this 366 campaign and reach the mass. So with that being said, we're here in Michigan, and we have educated and provided a safe place for babies to sleep. Maybe close to my last count as of today, Dr. Scott, was just a tad bit over 1,000 participants. So with that being said, I am encouraged and I'm excited about and look forward to our next workshop. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bishop. Now I would like to turn it over to our communication director, Ms. Carla Coleman, to kind of give you a background on some of the other activities that we've been doing across the country. Ms. Coleman?
Absolutely. My name is Carla Coleman. I'm the communications director for the Global Infant Safe Sleep Center. And I just want to say that we started just a year ago, and I'm amazed at how much the Giss Center has accomplished in such a short period of time, and with just our sweat equity, literally, us really having a passion for making sure that as many families as we can touch, let's try to touch them. I remember the first event Bishop Bloomstein just told us about. That was the first time I'd ever experienced being in for one of these events. And we were in his church, small church in Detroit, more than 30 pregnant women walking around in this small space, representatives from hospitals and all different types of organizations were there. And they were there to receive the portable cribs, but they were also deeply interested in the education that was being provided. And they were taking notes and asking questions. And the feeling, the energy in the room was just amazing. And before we knew it, we had taken that and was moving around the country with that same experience. Just droves of people coming in, wanting to learn more about how to keep their infant safe and provide a safe sleeping environment. Very interested in the education that we're providing. We went from Tulsa, Oklahoma to Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, several locations in Florida, Ohio, again in Detroit, in Michigan. And our goal is to continue that effort, to go from state to state and reach as many families as we possibly can, as many African American families as we possibly can, because it's just such a critical, such a huge problem. It's a crisis. And as Bishop Bloomstein just said, he didn't know that it was a crisis. He didn't know that this was actually occurring until it happened at his church. And we need to let other people know that this is what's going on across our country. Our babies are dying. Our babies need a safe place to sleep, and we need to bring that infant mortality rate into check. So my job as communications director is to actually help the Giss Center get that word out, to actually communicate across the country just what the messages are, what's important, what every family should know to keep their infants safe. So hopefully that was helpful. Stacy, back to you.
Thank you so much. Now I'd like to bring on Mr. Rodney Washington, who has been helping us with our development and our campaign, and he's going to give you an overview of our campaign and our Celebrate 366. Mr. Washington?
Good evening. My name is Rodney Washington. I am living in Ohio, and I'm also very excited about what we're doing because we are going to save the lives of hundreds, maybe thousands of babies across this nation and outside of the country. The campaign to Celebrate 366 is real basic. We want to make sure that our babies live at least 365 plus 1. That's how we came up with the 366 number. And of course, it's all about the infant safe sleep. There's many grants, there's educational outreach. And clearly, we want to eradicate the sudden, unexpected infant death, or at least get as close to zero as we possibly can as it relates to that epidemic. And it is truly an epidemic. Right now, we've set a goal to raise $100,000 between now, we started October 1 and December the 31st of 2017. We're asking for support by having individuals to give and having those on this listening to this to collect $3.66. That obviously goes in line with the 365 plus 1. And this can come from members who will listen to this, your church, people you bowl with, individuals all over. We have a phenomenal campaign. They can go online and give. They can do it with their cell phone. We're going to have the square. We're making it as easy as possible. We'll probably be working in some of the faith-based organizations have a special envelope. Now, while $3.66 is the number, if someone would like to just multiply that by 10, they can obviously give $36.60 or $366. So the point is, 366 is the number. We know that the campaign has been going for a while. We're looking to raise, again, $100,000 between now and the end of the year. We have plenty of ways for people to give to make it easy as possible. And, of course, those infant safe sleep, many grants will be coming out of this, as well as we'll be obviously doing the cribs and doing some traveling and just taking this thing across the country and ultimately outside of the country. So please join us in celebrating our babies living beyond 1 year in that 366 campaign. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Washington. And so as we close, I just want to let you all know that the Global Infant Safe Sleep Center, we are providing services through communities, again, from a global perspective, but we definitely need your support to help us to continue what we are doing. It's just been phenomenal to think that we've been in existence for 1 year and the impact that we've made on the communities, the partnerships that we have developed, the collaborations have just been phenomenal. And in addition to the things that we are talking about, we do provide safe sleep education, breastfeeding promotion, fatherhood initiatives, caregiver outreach, crib distribution, and we have worked on partnerships, community and government, community and academics. And so, again, we just want to be able to continue what we are doing as well as to expand what we are doing, and we need your help. So saving our babies, only $3.66, one person at a time. Again, the campaign launched officially October 1st. Again, please watch your emails or your social media. We have put in place several ways for you to donate. You can even text from your phone. So, again, go to our webpage at www.gisscenter.org, and you can see ways that you can be able to give. I thank you so much in all different languages for your support. If you need any additional information, you can email us at that info, gisscenter.org, that you see on your screen. With that, I'd like to close it out. And again, thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you.